Hey there, so you're asking yourself, is there really a way to pay off school loan debt, mortgage debt, or any other debt that you have within 7 to 10 years without killing yourself to do it? Yes, there is, okay? And that's exactly what we're gonna discuss in this episode, an exciting episode today, all right? So, hey, if you're new to this channel, my name is Chris. I'm all about empowering you, the home business entrepreneur, with the mindset and skill set to get results and make money, but also invest money too, all right? Because really that's how you end up achieving economic independence, is bringing in the cash flow and money and also investing it, all right? So let's talk about this, okay? Something that I discovered that I've been doing for a couple of years now, and it's basically what me and my family are doing to set us up to pay off all our debt and accumulate wealth at the same time. Now, what is it? I'm gonna kind of talk to you about it in like 3 steps, okay? I'm borrowing from my boy George Gammon because I'm watching all his videos and I keep thinking 3 simple steps. But in this case, it's gonna be 3 steps I'm gonna share with you, or 3 different things to think about. All right, the first one is this. Now, how can you in fact be able to pay off any debt that you have and still be able to live life comfortably, right? And not feel like you're just like living like a bum to pay off all the debt that you have, which I know a lot of you have, and I have it too. And the answer to it, number 1, is cash flow. Yes, cash flow, okay? Let me break it down for you. I don't know about you, but I treat my expenses kind of like my household, kind of like a business, right? So we have income that's coming in from the work that we do, and then we have expenses, okay, right? And so kind of like the way most people approach it, which is kind of how I approached it for a long time, was, well, I have income coming in and I have all these expenses, but I want to pay off my debt. I need to minimize my expenses, right? I need to kind of eliminate stuff here, spend less, okay? And you'll find a lot of people that do that will tell you about that on YouTube, right? You'll see all these videos about, hey, how I paid off my school loans in like 5 years. But when you watch their videos, they were living like complete bums, okay? Like, I don't know about you, but I can sustain. I thought that the only way in order to achieve what you needed in order to pay off debt was to minimize expenses and live like a bum. But the fact of the matter is, actually, you don't have to live that way. You do get results doing that, and those people did pay off their debt and they're good, but then you have to ask yourself, was it worth it? 10 years of living like a bum, eating ramen noodles, not going anywhere, not enjoying your life. It's 10 years you don't get back. And trust me, I used to think that way too, and thank God my wife is different, right? She has a little different mindset, and so it's helped me kind of adjust my mindset too. So what I discovered was that in fact, you really don't have to just do it that way. There is another way, all right? It's like kind of just scrounging and pinching pennies to pay off the debt and all of that is one way, but there's actually a more abundant way to do it. Yes, a more efficient way where you pay off your debt and at the same time, you build more wealth and you live life more gloriously. Ooh, I know, right? Shocking, but there is. You can't have both. Like my boy T. Harvecker says, you can have both have your ice cream and eat it too, or cake, or however the statement goes. The point is this: how do you do that? By realizing that not just minimizing expenses, right? Because yeah, you want to minimize expenses so that your net cash it will end up being that your income is greater than your expenses, right? In other words, you have more cash when it's all said and done. You'll have some money left to devote to paying off debt. But the key thing to remember is that there's 2 ways to do it. You can either minimize expenses live within your means, which is recommended, or you can increase your income. I don't know why I never thought about this, but dude, increase your income. Increase how much money is coming in, all right? So then you have more income to be able to pay towards debt. This is called expanding your means, okay? So you can minimize expenses, live within your means. That's good, but guess what? That's just part 1 of the formula. You also have to expand your means, okay? What does that mean? It means expand your income cash flow. Expand the amount of cash flow that's coming into the household. And there's like a ton of different ways to do it. But think about the benefits of expanding cash flow. It's kind of like having multiple arms, right? I don't know if there's like a character back in Mortal Kombat, the dude that had like 3, 6 arms and 9 arms. I don't remember the guy's name. I just remember, you can do fatalities on people. But I remember this guy has multiple arms. And it's kind of like that. If you have increased cash flow, it gives you more arms. Like imagine I have like 3 arms on each side, so a total of 9, 6 arms, right? Allows you to be able to do multiple different things with these arms. Your cash flow gives you more flexibility. It allows you to be able to pay off your debt, and still be able to live life gloriously, do the nice things, enjoy yourself. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more in step 2 and 3. All right, so for step 2, basically it's about the benefits of cash flow, right? So when you increase the amount of cash flow that's coming into your household, once again, when we're talking about it, it just makes things more flexible, right? You realize that you can only crimp and you can only remove as many expenses as a certain point, right? Because I realized I can't cut down anymore. We've optimized the expenses. At some point, there's nothing left. There's all you can do is increase the income, increase cash flow. And if you've been responsible, this increased cash flow will actually bring a lot of benefits. Number one, it allows you to pay off the debt much faster because now you have extra income to devote towards that debt, that school loans or the credit cards, or ideally you want to pay off bad debt. So that would be credit cards, school loans, your mortgage, things like that. But I wouldn't pay off like business debt, because that business debt is supposed to be is helping you make revenue. So we'll talk about that in a little second. So it allows you to pay off that debt faster and then recoup that cash flow when you pay that debt to even have even more cash flow to attack another debt, right? Then you also have like the fact that it'll increase your net worth, because if you're paying off debt, that means there's less liabilities that you have in the liability column, right? So you have assets and liabilities. And if you have less liabilities, well, your net worth increases, and that just is nice, right? And then it just allows you to live enjoyably, right? I realized too, it's like, it kind of sucks. There's no point to like kill yourself for 7 to 10 years, like saving every single dime and penny to pay off the debt. Like, you could do that, but why would you do that? There's a better way, right? That will take just as long, about 7 to 10 years, and actually have you living, enjoying life and really feeling it. I'm going to share with you exactly what are these cash flowing investment ideas are in a quick second. I'll even tell you my favorite one, but let's kind of go through the formula so you can kind of see why this just kind of makes sense. But it's crazy because you probably don't realize it until you kind of see a diagram of it. So let's do that right now. Let's get into that right now, okay? All right, so let's talk about step 3, all right? About cash flow and how it works in your life, and why I believe that this is the difference in making all the debt and all the wealth that you want to create without having to go through all the hard work. And let's start with the cash flow that we already kind of talked about, right? The more you can bring in, the better. Why? Well, then first of all, if you have cash flow, it's going to be flowing into your household, right? So it's going to be from your job or from a business or whatever you have. Now, when that cash flow will allow you to pay off the debt, right, that we were talking about. And when you start doing that, the bad debt decreases. And when you get rid of one school loan or one car loan or one credit card payment, it frees up the cash flow that you were using to pay off that debt, right? And what it does, it flows up here to give you more cash flow, right? So now you have more cash flow to deploy. Remember, we're talking about multiple arms doing things, right? And then what happens? It comes back into your household. At some point then, you can also invest more, right? And here's key. Because if you never invest, I'm convinced you will never improve your cash flow. You just won't. Why? Because when you invest, the number one thing I think you should be investing in is your skill sets, okay? That's what's kind of crazy about it, is that if you just invest in you, that means improving your skill sets. That means to provide value, right? So you're solving some kind of problem that people have. You're providing some type of solution. It could be some product, it could be some service. Shoot, it could be just education, right? Literally what I'm doing to you right now is providing value, right? You're providing some helpful solution or education to a group of people who need it and are wanting it, all right? It's how Earl Nightingale used to call it. He says, providing a valuable product and service to a group of people that is needed and useful. That's how you make money, okay? Why? Because as you're improving your skill sets to do that, you're providing value, okay? When you provide value, people will pay for it. You can make money from it. What does that do? It increases cash flow. That's right. If you just invest in you, in your skill sets and your ability to serve others, you'll automatically create more value. You'll automatically have more money coming to you, because that's how money works. It's attracted to value, and your cash flow will increase. As your cash flow increases, it allows you then comes back into your household to pay off that debt faster. So that's kind of what I realized, was that instead of trying to work myself crazy or try to save every single dime and look through the budget book so hard to figure out, okay, where can we scrimp and where can we save a couple pennies so I can pay off school loan debt and pay off mortgage debt or pay off credit card debt, I decided to think, wait a minute, let me expand my means, yeah? Expand my means, expand my skill sets so I can provide more value to people. People will pay me money if I help them, and then I can use that money to come back around and pay off my debt faster. Or I can use that money to invest even more in my skill sets or invest in my health, right? Because you invest in your health, we're talking about your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, and your mental well-being. These are key, folks. Like, you can't ignore it. People think, oh, I'll just like work really hard and I'll ignore my physical health. Well, guess what? When you run ragged for a while and you're like bad, you're high blood pressure, high blood glucose, you're not gonna get very far. Trust me on that. You're not gonna get very far. And you're gonna be like, oh, I wish I took care of myself. And what's crazy about it is if you do this, you get into a better state of being. If you take care of yourself, your whole self, you'll actually become more creative and you become more productive, which allows you to create more value, which all turn leads to more cash flow. You're kind of seeing the formula, right? So stick with me because I'm gonna share with you one of the best ways you can do this, like you can create value, okay? I find it that these are your cash flow investments, okay? I'm actually gonna probably do another video on like the top cash flow investment ideas that you can do, but I'm gonna share with you what I believe is the best one that's simple. If you're a working parent, you've got kids, you don't have a lot of time, this is probably one of the best ways. It takes time, but it is a solid cash flow machine once you get going. I think you'll like it. But just to finish it off, you can also then invest in non-cash flowing assets, okay? So these are the things that won't produce regular income for you regularly, right? These are kind of stuff that like you put the money aside and the idea is that over time it's going to appreciate in wealth, right? Increasing your net worth, but you can't really use it right now. So that's like investing in putting money in your 401k or investing in real estate, or real estate can be cash flowing, but sometimes it can't be. So it depends on how you use it. But a lot of this is just dependent on your understanding and knowledge, right? So for a lot of people, they might put their money in a 401k or put it in stocks, but I gotta tell you though, you gotta be really, really careful, okay? You're like, I think Robert Kiyosaki said it best. He was like, the investment is not what's risky. It's you, the investor, that's risky. What does that mean? It means that you need to do some education, educate yourself and understand one thing, the thing that you're investing in. The more you understand it, the more of less risk it is and the more money you can make. I think someone said it too, Gary Gunderson said it too. He's talking about how diversification is a sign of ignorance. If you got your money everywhere and you're investing in just all kinds of stuff, it's because you don't really understand the asset. And you really need to just focus. Warren Buffett understands a few things and he's made billions just by investing in the few things he understands, okay? He's not in everything, only the stuff he understands. And that's how you can really make this work when you're on the non-cash flow producing asset. So if you ask me, the formula to paying off school loan debt, mortgage debt, a credit card debt, whatever you have in the next 7 to 10 years without killing yourself, without living like a bum, without succumbing to scarcity mindset and trying to figure out where you can cut expenses, I think the formula is to improve you, yeah? Improve you, develop new skill sets, okay? And there's plenty of ways to do that. I find the best way to do it is on the internet. And that's what I've kind of done. I think it's the best way. Go on the internet and there's so many ways to make money. You can see entire videos that I have, entire playlists of videos on how to make money online. I have them there that you can check out, but I'll tell you the best way that I've made my money, okay? You know, if I'm gonna tell you my secret, I've used affiliate marketing. Yes, affiliate marketing is brilliant. All it is you providing a valuable product or service to a group of people who need that product and service. And you don't have to create the product, you're just referring them to someone else who's created it. All you become is the educator. You become the value creator, the educator, to help them understand how this solution can solve their problems. It is the answer that they've been looking for. When they go and buy, the company then pays you a portion of that sale in terms of commission. People who have had nothing have earned 6 figures per year and even per month through affiliate marketing. It requires no experience, it requires no skills, it requires nothing to get started. But guess what? To be good, you have to invest in your skill sets, okay? You gotta be good. You gotta invest time and energy and money to get good at it so that eventually it continues to provide incredible value to your audience, and therefore increase your cash flow and make more money for you. Okay, so that's my recommendation. In fact, that's exactly what I've been doing online. That's exactly how I've been able to that's what we decided to do. Okay, we decided to, you know what, we're not gonna kill ourselves. We're not gonna try to scrimp and scringe and everything to pay our student loan debt, pay down the mortgage, because I really want to pay down that mortgage. Right? Because here's the thing, a mortgage, real estate is nice, but if it's not putting money in your pocket, that's what Kiyosaki says. If it's not putting money in your pocket and taking money out of your pocket, it's a liability. So your mortgage in your house, that's a liability, along with your student loans and your credit card debt. Those are liabilities, right? We want to get rid of them. And I much rather expand my means. You much rather, I think if you look at it, it's much better to expand your means, become more valuable, because then once you paid off all that debt in the next 7 to 10 years, instead of saying, yes, I paid off my debt, and you're tired and you're bummed out, you've lost 10 years, you've been living like a bum for 10 years, you can say instead, guess what? I paid off all my debt, and I'm living more abundantly than I ever have before. My health and my lifestyle is so incredible, and now it can expand to become even more incredible now that I don't have this debt taking up this cash flow. And all of a sudden you can walk closer and closer to that path of economic independence, that life of financial freedom, going and being and doing and never having to worry about money ever again. Amen? Amen. So that's it, my friend. I hope you got value. Hope that was helpful. Okay, that right there is exactly a way that you can start to generate more cash flow into your life and start making things a little bit smoother in terms of your debt. Hope it was helpful. If you did, hey, definitely give the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. All right. And oh, by the way, check out this video right here that I'm going to be creating pretty soon. If it's not already there, it's the 3 cash flow investment ideas that you can consider that will put more cash flow in your pocket. This is the kind of stuff that I've been doing and talking about for a while. That is, I think it's the answer to everything, right? Economic independence. So that video is getting started right now in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.